All right, we are on. This is Travis Dillard coming at you live from New Jersey. It is quite literally one of the most beautiful days of the year. It's about 73 degrees, bright and sunny. Unbelievable day, and I hope wherever you're calling from, wherever you're viewing this, wherever you are in the world, that you're having a fantastic day and the weather is just as awesome as it is here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to get right into it. So, in the next 60 minutes, we are going I'm going to share with you and I'm going to allow you to discover the simple step-by-step formula for losing that belly fat as a busy professional. The reality is we are busy. Fitting in health and fitness into our schedule is something that isn't an easy task, but it can be simple. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that without a carbless, flourless, sugarless diet or really having to restrict your calories like most people think you have to do. And you just don't have to. You don't have to live life hungry without energy. You can do this in a way that is sustainable for your lifestyle. I'm going to show you how to do that. So first off, who is this webinar for? So if you're busy as heck, you've got a full-time job or you have your own business and you're really struggling to find the time to get healthy, this webinar is for you. And if you're tired of constantly battling your weight and you've been doing it for quite a while and you can't seem to get rid of that belly fat, this is for you. And work if you work a lot, as I said, and it always seems to get in the way of, and it's more of an afterthought. Health and fitness is more of an afterthought, and it really seems to your schedule seems to always get in the way of you achieving the body that you want, and more importantly, the body that you deserve, that your family deserves. Because once you get this body, and once you achieve this level of physical fitness, really health is the most important. You find that health is the most important resource because without it, you're not going to have anything. And without being as physically fit, you're going to have these self-limiting beliefs. And we're going to overcome that. I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to share with you the exact strategies that I've used in my life and that I've had success with and many of my clients have had success with so that you can get back on track and not only get rid of that belly fat, but also find your health, your energy, and you can experience this amazing overlap. So here's what you're going to discover today. We're going to go over the simplest and healthiest way to get rid of that belly fat, especially if you don't have a lot of time and you can't seem to fit it in your schedule. We're going to go into a case study of how Mike dropped 34 pounds and lost all this fat, including his belly, in just 12 weeks. And he's just getting started. So we're going to go into that story. I'm going to share with you how to eliminate virtually all the distractions, all the mule work that you may be putting in right now that may be completely unnecessary, and we're going to make your health and your fat loss a priority as it should be. We're also going to go into exactly how to do this without the restrictive diets, without having to get rid of all the carbs or even fats. And see, a lot of times we get so caught up in these calorie restrictive diets that we think, okay, well, for breakfast I had McDonald's, so for lunch I've got to have a salad. And then for dinner I'm going to be hungry, so I need to have a big meal here. And this is just not a great relationship with food. So we're going to teach you some of the mindset techniques on how to actually view your nutrition, how to view your health, because it's so important that we do that right off the bat. And you're also not going to have to give up caffeine because obviously we love our coffee, we love our teas, and why give up something that we love and that we enjoy every single day? And you're not going to have to use any powders or pills or any other fancy quick fix sort of equipment. Really, there's just only five things that you need to have in place in order to do exactly what I'm talking about. And it's pretty simple. And it's evergreen. It's timeless. They're based off of fundamentals, and they will always work. So here's the best part. There is nothing for sale. This is a content-only webinar. So go ahead, put your credit card up. Don't worry about payments of any sort. Also, while we're at it, let's go ahead and put our phones up. I know that as soon as that assuming you're watching this on from a computer. If you're watching on your phone, obviously don't put your phone up. But I know as soon as you see that little tick mark or that one notification on Facebook, you're going to immediately want to click on that app and go into it. So let's put the distractions away and really take and comprehend the value that this webinar is about to provide you. Because if you take action on what I'm about to tell you, I can assure you, you'll not only start your transformation today, but you're going to be able to implement a sustainable strategy that you can do for virtually forever. But I do have a gift for you at the end, and it's something that has truly changed hundreds of lives that I don't give away for free in most cases. But if you make it to the end, I will give it to you for free, no strings attached. Look forward to adding value to your life at that point. But until then, let's move forward. So here's my promise to you in the next 60 minutes. We're going to go over how to get rid of that belly fat and all fat in 15 to 25 minutes per day. That's right, just 20 minutes per day without a restrictive diet, without cutting a lot of calories, without a carbless, flourless, sugarless diet, and all those sorts of things. So let me ask you a question. Does this sound like you? Do you feel like that your weight is causing these self-limiting beliefs and really creating a lot of negative self-talk around, I can't do this, I'm tired of trying, and it's really overlapping in other areas of your life, like your work and your relationship? Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that you're living in this mental fog and you can't seem to find clarity when you get up? And it takes you a while to get out of this state of fatigue. And you just want to be able to wake up and have the energy that you need to live the life that you want and to be as productive as possible. Are you secretly worried about a possible heart attack or being another heart disease statistic in general? Are you concerned about your future from a health perspective? Because if you're not, you're doing yourself a disjustice, and I don't want you to wake up 10 years from now and realize you could have done something and you could have made that change. You could have made that change for your kids and your family and your business or your professional life. You have a lot of influence in your life. I want you to know that. And I want to stop and appreciate the fact that you're here right now. I just want to stop and want you to pat yourself on the back and really recognize that you're in the right spot. Do you see that your physical fitness up until now and your health in general has just been an afterthought? If you are ready to reach your full potential in every single area of your life and you are ready to make that change today, this is for you. If everything you do, basically because of your schedule and your time constraints, seems to really just get in the way of what the productivity that you're trying to have, meaning that you have this schedule lined out, but it just seems so busy that you can't actually think about health and you can't really think about getting you better, and everything just basically seems to get in the way, and it's this constant cycle of, oh, I'm going to try to be productive today. Oh, wait, I need to get healthy. No, I need to be productive. No, I need to get healthy. And it's this constant loop. Is that something you're going through? Your kids are getting older and you want to be there for them. As I said before, this is your life. This is your health we're talking about. This is the most important thing and really the only thing that you have. So let's take advantage of that. You feel that all this information is being thrown at you and really nobody's giving you the full picture. You just want to know what to do in a few simple steps. You're tired of just being handed crap. I mean, there's a ton of different stuff on social media and all these different blogs and videos, and how do you know what to do? And you want to lose 10 to 35 pounds of fat so you can look better, feel better, live a more energetic life, and get out of the place you're in, get out of the mess you're in right now. Look, you know you can do this, so let's see how we can fix it. Do you feel like that there is this just invisible barrier that's basically preventing you, and it's almost this mental block that's preventing you from really, because you know what it takes. You understand and you have the pieces, you just don't have the pieces in order, and you don't necessarily have the time to figure it out on your own. and it's creating this barrier in your life. And you also don't feel that you want to restrict calories. I mean, you don't want to be hungry, so why even? And that's kind of this mindset you have around health and fitness. You think that restricting calories is really the way to go, and I'm gonna show you right now that it's not. It seems like the more that you stress, the more you kind of say, you know what, I can't do this. I might as well just watch TV, or I might as well be productive in my work instead. And you just end up becoming more and more sedentary. And the more you think about it, really the more stressed out you get. And again, it just goes back to this cycle, back and forth, and you just wake up every day and you worry about your health, but you really can't find the time to do it. And you feel like you're losing the most important resource in your life, your health. Instead of increasing your energy, your self-respect, your self-esteem, your confidence, and your overall well-being. And you just feel overwhelmed and stressed, and you're ready to just figure it out. Here's the deal. In order to figure this out, you really need to focus on having the right system. You don't need another bulletproof coffee or another quick fix that promises you this synthetic energy that's only going to last you so much, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours throughout your day, and then it seems to just dip off, and then you're back to square one, if not worse off than before. It's not another trend like CrossFit or paleo, and with CrossFit, you're going to constantly be in this state of inflammation, and then there's hormone. Your hormones get all out of whack, and your cortisol increases, and there's just a lot of different high-intensity interval training or high-intensity exercising that really puts your body in this physical state of stress that does prevent you from getting where you want to go. And you don't need to restrict the carbs with paleo. A lot of people think, carbs are bad. Carbs are not bad. If carbs are used incorrectly and you're constantly eating them and you're not really sure what to do, then yeah, it can be detrimental. But I want to teach you how that it's not. You don't need another sneaky trick that reduces fat instantly and promises you these, within 5 days you're going to lose 50 pounds. You don't need another one of those, because the reality is, yes, right now you could lose 10 pounds in the next 2 days. Here's what you gotta do. You gotta quit eating, period. And you gotta, limit your water intake, and you gotta, and this just isn't gonna work. You can't, how long are you gonna be able to do that? And at the expense of pretty much everything. You're gonna have no energy. You're going to feel like you've been run over by a truck. All for what? To lose 10 pounds just to gain it right back? It's time that we look at this from a long-term perspective. And it's not a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter approach that, again, promises you this short, quick fix, 20 pounds in 3 days. Let's get away from that. It's not some gimmicky, oh my gosh, how many times have you seen this ad? 5 foods to avoid, or 5 foods that you must be eating in order to lose weight or lose fat. And there's not just 5 foods. There's a system that if you put in place, you may be able to implement these 5 foods, but it's just so much, there's just so much hype out there, and it's time we expose the bullshit, okay? And that's what this is for. That's what I'm here for, to express to you. So once you implement this system, you're going to be able to properly and safely remove fat permanently. Get rid of that belly, I promise you. You're going to be able to happily look in the mirror finally every morning, never having to worry about feeling fat, about not feeling good about the person that's staring back at you. And you're going to be able to create a sustainable, which is a word that I can't tell you, it must go along with your health and fitness journey, because if you are able to continue doing what you're doing and remain consistent, and you keep things simple and you don't overcomplicate things, you're going to have a life full of confidence, continuous progress, and energy for you and your family for years to come. And you're finally going to have the body that you want, the energy and health that you need, and be able to do more and be more productive in your already busy lifestyle. And you're going to be able to be there, as I said before, for your family, and you're going to get your life back. You're going to be able to do it without the stress, without the anxiety, without having to overcomplicate things, and get you out of the state that you're living with now. And you're going to be able to do this in the most simple way possible. It's where we can literally infuse this into your current schedule. And you're not going to have to make a ton of adjustments, which is, I can't tell you, the best thing anybody could ever tell me is that, I'm almost there. We just need to infuse these 2 or 3 simple things, and in this case 5, into your current busy schedule. So here we go. There's really just 5 things you need to know in order to shed this fat that you're looking to shed and get your energy back and get your life back as a busy professional without the restrictive diets. So here's the secret. And really, the secret is that it's not a secret. In fact, you probably are doing some of these things already, just not in the right order, not with the right guidance, and not with the right accountability. So who am I, and why the heck should you listen to what I have to say? Well, despite this funny picture, it's quite ridiculous looking before and after picture, I started my life as a very skinny, very small-framed person, and I had a lot of insecurities tied to it. As I began to change my body, and I really didn't know what direction to go in because I had all this information being thrown at me, and the reality is it was difficult. And so what I did was I just began to eat, and I began to desperately make this change for the good or for the bad. And clearly, that picture on the left right there, it was not for the good. I was extremely overweight, and because I didn't know where I should be going, what direction to head into. But what I did was I decided, you know what? I'm going to learn how food and nutrition and exercise and mindset truly affects my body so I can help others doing it. So I got my certified personal, I became certified and became a certified personal trainer, and I developed a real passion for it. And I wanted to take it one step further to really understand how our external environment played a role in our lives. So I became a physique competitor to really inspire others. And along this journey, I developed this relationship with business professionals, entrepreneurs, and business owners. And I began to understand the mindset behind, because the reality is, doing this along the way, I created my own business, and I kind of really started to begin to understand the limitations that we have in our lives just through some personal development that I went through and some growth that I went through early on being an entrepreneur. So what I did was I basically said, you know what? My superpower is to help other entrepreneurs. So you know what? I'm going to focus on only helping them. And that's exactly what I've done. People who are truly busy need more help than ever nowadays because they don't have enough time. There's so much information being thrown at them. I mean, who the heck knows what's going on? Very few people actually understand and use the fundamentals that we have worked forever. And it's my job to expose the myths, the bullshit out there, and guide business owners, entrepreneurs, and busy business professionals to the body that they deserve and the body that their kids, their work, and their life, everything about them. Health is the most important resource, period. And you have nothing without it. And so really, what I've over the last 5 years, I've stumbled across this strategy that I've developed for myself that has ultimately helped hundreds of other busy business professionals change their bodies and change their life as well. It allowed me to drop 38 pounds without these ridiculous diets or ever feeling hungry. So as I said, I discovered the system because I was out of shape. I was overweight. I was insecure. And I had this distinct moment where I was sitting on my dorm room bed at the university I was attending, and as I leaned over to grab the television remote, I felt this huge lump of fat over my belt onto my leg, and as I sat up, I began to get emotional. I began to cry. Tears were literally streaming down my face because I realized how depressed I truly was, how insecure I was with not only my body, but who I was becoming and who I was representing. I was in a poor relationship at the time. I didn't love myself. And that is when I began to discover the system. So here we go. Here are the 5 simple steps that make up this system that we're going to go into right now. Number 1, it's so very important that you start with the right fundamentals and the right strategy to avoid the wrong strategy. When I say wrong strategy, I'm talking about the quick fix mentality. There is no magic pill, and if you believe that there is, this webinar is not for you. Go ahead and jump off right now because we're not going to go into that. There is no such thing, and there never will be. Not in your business, not in your work, not in your health, nowhere. It's so very important that we understand that. So, another thing, you do not want to exercise too much. See, a lot of the times we live in this world of beast. We live in this world where beast mode is always being said, like we got to be going intense all the time. The reality is our bodies can only handle so much. So it's important that we de-stress by not doing too much because our bodies will become inflamed over time. And you know, a lot of times we get home from work and we're tired. We don't want to do it. We don't want to prepare anything. And had we planned something ahead of time, and had we planned what we were going to eat ahead of time, it would have been a little easier. But now we're just going to eat whatever our spouse cooks because it's the convenience factor. It's the easy way out. But it's not always the right path. The drive-through window option. When you don't plan, when you don't prepare, you show up to the drive-through and you think, okay, I could go really healthy right now and have my salad, or I can have a big burger. And if you're really hungry, what are you going to pick? You've not set yourself up for success. You're probably more than likely going to pick the burger, which obviously is not the right route. But let's say you pick the salad. Well, unfortunately, when you eat that salad 3 hours later, you're going to be fatigued. You're not going to have the energy you need to get through the afternoon, and you're going to be hungry, and you're probably going to grab whatever's convenient for you. And if you didn't plan ahead, well, you know, that's something else. And that's obviously a problem. The cookie cutter plan. Famous one, right? When a PDF is handed to you and you say, all right, here you go. This has helped me. It's going to help you. Simply not going to work. You need a plan that focuses on you and you alone to keep up with your internal environments. So, 2 weeks versus 10 weeks, obviously, we are not, 2 weeks versus 10 years, obviously we are not focused on what is happening in the next 2 weeks. We want to look at this long term, and that's the mindset shift that we need to have in our lives, right? It's not about losing 30 pounds in 2 weeks. It's going to be about having this and keeping this transformation for the next 10 to 20 years. So there is this massive benefit and overlap into having success in all areas of your life. Our bodies have limits. Our hormones depict everything that we do. And as soon as our stressors kick in, there's this ugly, ugly hormone called cortisol. And as soon as these levels go up, game over. Not only are you not going to be able to get the body that you want, but it's going to keep you run down. You're going to feel fatigued. Every morning you wake up, you're going to constantly be in this state of, oh, I'm so tired, I don't want to get up, I'm just going to go back to bed. You're going to hit the alarm, and you're going to start every day like that, and that's not what we want. We need to learn to create convenience rather than getting to the moment and forcing to pick something convenient right then and there, right? If we plan successfully, if we plan correctly, we can create this easy way, this convenience factor without having to pick something unhealthy. And as I said before, your body is ever changing, and we constantly need to stay ahead of it. And obviously, by not becoming the healthiest version of yourself, by not up-leveling your life, it's going to be a huge risk to you and your family. And you know what? You don't have a lot of time. We need to stop wasting the little time that you do have and expedite your transformation. So here we go. The right strategy The right customized strategy is focused on you. It's not a cookie cutter plan. It's focused on your individual attributes, your schedule, and your lifestyle habits. Because our bodies vary from person to person. There's 3 different body types. There's the ectomorphic, which is the skinnier frame. You're able to lose fat more easily, but it's tougher to gain muscle. There's the mesomorphic frame, where you kind of get the best of both worlds, right? It's easy or mildly easy to lose fat, and it's a little easier to gain fat. This is the optimal bone structure to have. And then there's the endomorphic, which puts on muscle very easily, but it is far more difficult to lose fat. So as you can see, it really does depend on who you are. And obviously not everybody is a true one of these body types. You're somewhere in between. So it's important that you understand that your body is different than everybody else's. Training age matters. The amount of time that you've spent in the gym prior, or not just in the gym, just exercising in general, prior to where you are right now, really depicts where your future, or where you should be headed down your journey in terms of your nutrition, your exercise, what you've been thinking, the insecurities that you had in the past. It really does foreshadow where we head. And your current level of physical fitness, obviously, depending on how much fat or your goals that really you're looking to lose, and where you are right now. Again, it's customized for you and everything about you. And you're obviously not going to have the resources at given points, whether you want to be able to do it out of your home, or you have access to a gym, or you're on the road all the time. These things matter. And you really need to find out the best nutrition and the best workout routine for you, not somebody else. So number 2, the right mindset. Tony Robbins is this exceptional motivational speaker who's inspired and helped millions of people around them in terms of mindset, how you approach business, and how you approach your health as well. But he goes into this technique where he talks about your story, your state, and your strategy. And really, no matter what, you have a story about your health, right? Your story could be one of disempowerment, where you think, I tried it in the past, I really don't have a lot of time for it, it didn't work for me. Therefore, your state now is one of defeat, lack. You don't think you're going to have time for it, so you'll worry about it later. So in this case, no matter what strategy you use, it's going to fail. Because I could hand you on a silver platter the best fat loss strategy in the world. It works every time, guaranteed. And the first problem you run into, you're gonna say, oh, I knew it wasn't for me. It doesn't work for my lifestyle. I'm not gonna worry about it. However, if you have an empowering story, and you think, oh, if that goofy kid in that transformation picture can do it, he had no pants on, he looked like an idiot. You can do it, right? So can you. If that's your story, then your state now is that you're going to make it work because you believe. And your strategy, as long as it's good, you can make it work. So here's the problem. There's literally thousands of strategies out there. And if you have the right story, you have the right state, you need the right strategy. But how do you know which one works for you? Because you can't possibly use them all. So here we go. The right nutrition, the right exercise, number 3. So the right nutrition, you look at where you are right now and you make adjustments. And you test. And you start from your current point. Because a lot of times you run into people who want to go from 0 to 90 in the first week, and guess what? That only lasts for so long. We need to figure out a way to help you fight cravings, because they're always going to come. They always will. And here's the thing. You can strategically include indulgences to fight these cravings. Simple tricks, like, for instance, if you feel you have a craving coming on, go ahead. Don't fight it. Don't fight it, first of all. But let's look at eating some lean meats, eating some veggies, and eating some complex carbs. And then after that, you know what? If you still have that craving, go ahead. But here's what you're going to find. 9 times out of 10, you're no longer going to want it. And it's simple tricks like this that it's these mindset tricks. Nutrition and everything is just as part of the last point, number 2, as anything else. And it's so important. That's why there's these 5 steps. Without one of them, the whole thing will fall apart. So here we go. Simple goal. Create a nutrition plan that is so customizable that we can use it to safely get rid of that belly fat and keep it off. It's pretty simple. Now, we went over the right nutrition plan. Now it's important that we go into the right exercise. So exercise is the easiest part. Virtually none of my students struggle with their workouts because you only have to do it 15 to 20 minutes per day. That's really all it takes. And it's not complex, it's not difficult, it's very simple and made easy for you. And exercise is really what lubricates the machine. So if your body is this machine, the nuts and bolts are the nutrition. The exercise is what lubricates the machines and basically acts as the oil, right? So as long as your nutrition is on point, as long as your mindset's there, the machine's going to run, and it's going to run smoothly if exercise is implemented correctly. So really, if your fat loss strategy is bad, more exercise will only make your life worse because it will put you in that state of fatigue that we talked about earlier. But if your fat loss strategy works, the right exercise will make your life better. Number 4, we need to leverage everything that we can. So the reality is you need to start seeing results in a short time, and you need to be able to solidify your progress so you can reach your ideal as quickly as possible. You can't spend any more time caught up in your stress, living overweight, not giving you your work and your family the best you and all of you, and that needs to change. We need to start now. Again, this fat loss strategy will always work. It's evergreen because it's based off of fundamentals and sustainable results that you can continue to thrive and progress for years and years to come. The nutrition and exercise is tested, and then once optimized, it's adjusted. It's very simple. It's not complex. There's not a whole lot of moving parts. Just these 5 steps. Implement them into your lifestyle and infuse them into everything that you do. Make them a habit, and boom. And we're going to tailor it to your schedule and your fat loss goals, really where you want to be. And you can do this again and again and again for many, many years to come. So here we go. Here's Mike. And now Mike, when he came to me, he was a client of mine. He came to me and he drank coffee for breakfast. Actually drank bulletproof coffee that we were talking about. And it did satiate him for a little while, but then came lunch, and he thought, I'm just going to eat a salad. And he thought that restricting these calories was really the way to go. So what we did was we did this exact 5-step strategy. We put him on a highly individualized plan, tested, optimized, and guess what? In 12 weeks, Mike dropped 34 pounds. This picture here on the right is just weeks 1 through 3. And he's just beginning. He's more energized. He's a chef, and he has his own company. He's on his feet 12 hours a day. And you know what? He's now looking at life from an entirely different lens. He's gained more confidence. He used to be a little bit fearful about where he was headed in life, and now he's taking it on like he owns every single aspect of everything that he does, and he's approaching it from a level of confidence that he thought he never would have. He's truly feeling unstoppable. So let's recap real quick. So 5 steps again. The right fat loss strategy, the right mindset, the right nutrition, and the right exercise. And we need to be able to leverage everything that we can. You'll notice that there was one thing missing, and that is you must invest in mentoring. This is number 5. See, the reality is you have 2 options to get rid of that belly fat. One is to figure it out all by yourself and waste a fortune in time and money, or you can get help from someone who's paid the price before you and who can fast track you. Now, that being said, here's the deal. You really don't need a coach. You don't. In fact, nobody needs a coach. But the question is, do you want a coach? Because I have 2 or 3 coaches, and I have found more value in them than anything that I've ever invested in. Because I like when someone is there holding me accountable, guiding me exactly where to go so I can avoid the same mistakes that they made and up-level my life faster than any way possible. Because here's really what I found. By having an accountability partner and someone who really knows what they're doing and can guide you in the way that they can, you are going to expedite your learning, expedite your progress 10 times faster than you could on your own. So it's kind of like this. Here's where you're at right now. It's basically like you are about to fly a plane and you've been handed a video or an ebook, and you're told, okay, you gotta land this plane. You see all the buttons and you're like, what is happening? I don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed. Someone else needs to fly this plane for me. But you still have to fly the plane. So you gotta land it, and your kids, your loved ones, everyone's on board with you. Yet all you have is a little bit of information that you found on the internet or what somebody told you, or the sad thing is even what a personal trainer may have told you in the past. But look, you realize that you can't do it on your own, and that what if you, in this same situation, you had a co-pilot that was directing you and guiding you to press what buttons to press and how to exactly land the plane so you can keep yourself safe and guide yourself to the tarmac with your kids and your family and your loved ones as safe as possible, because that is exactly what you're doing in your health journey. So it's important that we recognize the power of what true, honest, and results-driven guidance can bring us. So here's really what mentoring gives you. There's this trust that builds up between the partnership that you build from a mentoring program, the leverage that someone else has made the mistakes before and can guide you in a way that you've never been guided before and can get you the results that you need and desire. There's an accountability, right? There's a partnership that exists. And when someone is there guiding you every single day, taking you step by step, holding your hand and showing you the way, there's truly nothing better than that. There's 24/7 access to an accountability partner or to a mentor. And really it keeps you focused, because there are so many shiny objects out there that it's quite, with all the advertisements, everything going on Facebook and all the social media, things are demanding our attention more than ever. And it's so incredibly hard to stay focused on one thing. So here's the deal. You are in an environment right now that may or may not be the best suited environment for you. Jim Rohn's famous quote, "We are the average of the 5 closest people in our lives," really depicts the environment that we put ourselves in. The 5 people around us is our environment and controls our environment. Here's an analogy real quick that I like to use. So imagine that you were on a ship, right? And you fell into shark-infested waters. And you fell in, and all of a sudden, obviously, you are in deep trouble. You're going to be the lunch for some of these sharks. Now, let's take the same situation and bring it to land, right? The sharks were in this environment before, where they belonged, where they thrived, where they succeeded. Now take the same sharks and throw them on land, and all of a sudden you're safe, because these sharks obviously are not in their environment any longer and cannot succeed. They're literally a fish out of water. Your environment is always going to control every action that you make, no matter what, and whether it's going to determine your success, period. So let's get you out of the environment that you're in, and let's avoid you getting off this webinar without making a change and going back to the environment that you were in. So how much is it costing you to stay where you're at? Right now, you don't have the structure that you need. Your habits are poor, and you don't have the routine that you'd like to be as productive as possible. You're sometimes feeling that you're not attractive to your significant other. You feel like you're constantly in this cloudy state where you can't, it's like when you're thinking, you can't grasp the next word. And you can't formulate sentences like you used to be able to because your mind is in this state of minor fatigue, and you just can't think as clearly as you used to. And the reality is that you are not setting a good example for your kids. Health is the most important thing in your life and their life, and it's time that we start not just talking about it, but taking action and showing them through your action and setting that example that they deserve. And you're seeing your friends and other people around you, and you're comparing yourself to them, and it's bringing you down. And it's bringing you to a state where it's affecting your relationships. It's affecting your productivity at work. And it's time we get you out of that spot you're in. And you're really just dealing with life rather than having fun and enjoying it like you were meant to. And you just don't have enough time, but you're just starting to try new things. You're testing things, and that's great, but let's just move past that learning curve and get you on the track that you need to be on that works for you, guaranteed. So as I said, I have this gift for you, right? And it's coming. But how much, again, will it cost you to do this all on your own and continue doing it all on your own? Most people, it takes years and years to figure it out. For me, it took many years. But I'm here to expedite that for you. So you don't have to struggle for years and years, and we can start getting you on track. We can start getting the health that you deserve right now. So when those years and years roll around, it will already be in your life. You'll be setting a good example for your kids, and you'll be headed down the right path for longevity and success in your business, in your work, and in your life. You're putting yourself and your family at risk by not treating yourself as the top priority. It's time that you start looking at who you are and really focusing on you. Because the reality is, if you're not focusing on you, you're being selfish. Because your business, everybody deserves it. They deserve you. I want you. I care for you. I want you to start becoming who it is that you want to be, and who it is that everybody else knows that you are. Or just never really getting around to it, and wait for something else hopefully to happen, for something magical to come into your life and force you to make this change. And that's not where you want to head. And I don't want you to get off this call and start thinking like that and think, oh, well, eventually something's going to happen. Eventually something's going to change. Eventually I'm going to be forced to do this. Let's not wait until it's already too late. Let's fix it now. So here's how I can help. I'm going to come alongside you one-on-one to do the following. We're going to figure out exactly what you're currently doing and figure out why it's not working and why what you're doing is not allowing you to be successful in your fat loss journey. We're going to help you overcome your limitations and get clarity so you can turn your body into a fat burning furnace. And I'm going to give you a step-by-step plan and strategy. No gimmicks, no strings attached, but exactly what you need for what you need to do going forward and to get you out of this place that you're in. So we're going to figure out exactly the clear path that you need to help you get you out from where you are to bring you where you want to be. And you know what the best part of this is? It's completely free. And I do not hire salesmen to do this. I will be on the call. You will be speaking with me. There is so much value that people get on these coaching calls, and it's truly one of my superpowers. So I want to give you the opportunity to join me on one of these calls so we can get you back where you deserve to be. But before I do this, and I don't talk to just anyone, I'm very selective in who I even get on these coaching calls with. So let me just go over real quick who this is for. So if you are committed to creating and sustaining a transformation, and you are ready to make a huge impact on the people around you, not just because you are an influencer, and when you make a change in your life, you are going to be affecting the other people around you, and you're going to be inspiring them. So you must be willing and able to make a big impact. You must be serious about doing it the right way. No gimmicks, no quick fixes, no 50 pounds in 2 weeks we're going to lose. No, 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 that's not how this is going to work. Um, if you believe that that's how it is, again, this is not for you. You must bring along a challenge, because quite frankly, I am not here for an easy ride. In fact, I prefer it be more difficult so we can break through those barriers, show you that it can be done, and truly give you what you need. And you must be willing to invest in your health, but more importantly, your education, for your individual and self-development, for your future and your life. Then, if you want me to help you, and if I think it's a good fit, in the last 5 minutes, and yes, only the last 5 minutes of our call, I might invite you to become one of my exclusive clients. And if we work together, you can expect that you'll be put through the same exact learning process that that case study Mike, one of my current clients, went through, and my other successful clients have been through. And it is designed to help you lose that belly fat permanently and get your health back in as little as 12 weeks using maximum amounts of leverage, which we cover. I fully expect you to be getting results fast. I'm excited for you. You can do this. So here's what I want you to do. Go to teedupfitness.com/apply, APPLY, and what I want you to do is fill out a form that I have for you there. See, normally right now, this is the time for a Q&A, questions and answers. But here's what I want to do. Instead, I want you to fill out that form so I can further assess your situation and really feel if I can help you out. And then what we can do is we can get on the phone and chat so we can fix this and get you out of this place that you're in. If you don't want this call, that's okay too. The other option is to go back to doing what you're doing and what you've been doing that hasn't been working. Or we can hop on this call for about 45 minutes to figure out exactly what's going on. If you haven't tried anything before this, if you haven't made any progress at all, that's great too. We can start from square one and can supercharge your transformation and get rid of that belly fat by assessing your current situation and laying out an exact path forward so that when the strategy session is completed, you'll be 100% crystal clear on the exact strategy and exactly how to move forward and get you past what you're currently doing. Really look forward to speaking with you. Talk soon.